Do not talk to me of dragon fire and ruined dwarf. I have seen fire. Yes, that just happened. I think you'll be begging for the original now, but I just love the way he just pulls back and goes. It's so much fun. So, The Desolation of Smaug obviously stars your original cast: Benedict Cumberbatch, Martin Freeman, Richard Armitage, Ian McKellen, all that sort of stuff. And we've got a couple of new additions in this, including Lee Pace and Luke Evans. So, yeah, let's continue straight on where we left off, in a flashback, I guess, because we flash back to find out that Thorin already knew that someone was looking for his head. And Gandalf saved them from a bunch of assassins, and yeah, Gandalf's the one that convinced them to go into the whole big battle. Well, reclaim his homeland. Yeah, he convinced them that they're going to get burglar, so you get the burglar, and then you get this shot of Bilbo as he comes over, climbing over a rock, which honestly I thought they were still on the rock. The eagles had left them on. I'm just like, Jesus, how are they going to get down? They're going to have to abseil down now. Eagles really aren't convenient, except from saving them from risky situations. They just don't know where to land you. So, it turns out they weren't though, and somehow the orcs are still chasing them because I guess they can follow eagles? I don't know. And, and so basically they are coming down, and Bilbo sees a bear. And don't worry, it's a lot more interesting than just that Bilbo sees a bear and just goes, oh my god, it's a bear. And it's another one of Peter Jackson's amazing pointless themes. But actually no, this one's really important because it's the changer, shapeshifter guys. Shifter, I can't remember the name. And Bilbo comes down and he's just like, the orcs are around there and I saw a bear. And then Gandalf's trying to convince all the dwarves. It's just like, see, he's very quiet, isn't he? And then Bilbo's like, will you just listen? And then well, he didn't actually try and explain the bear, but he now tries to explain the bear. He's just like, there's a bear out there. Well, he just goes, there's something out there. And then Gandalf goes, like a bear. And he goes, yes. And then we find out that Gandalf knows who this guy is. Oh. And they break into his house, and yeah. So the bear stands guard of the house because he couldn't get them, I guess. I guess he just didn't want it. I don't know. He just stands guard. It's fine, I guess. And it allows for the orcs to go, we can't get into this house now, despite there's this bear just guarding, despite the fact that they could probably just circle around and attack from behind. And unless the house is impenetrable because the bear can get him. Anyway, the bear becomes a man, and the man wanders in, and Bilbo sees him, he's just like, oh my god, there's a man, and he hides. So Bilbo gets woken up by a 3D bee, and yeah, there's not really any point when you're watching it in 2D, but yeah, when you're watching it in 3D, there's a 3D bee. There you go. And so he wakes up and he goes and he finds out the man's pouring milk for the dwarfs, and the dwarfs are enjoying it, and yeah, and basically the bear man thing agrees to help them after saying that the orcs slaughtered his entire race. So yeah, and then we get this really awesome shot for some reason. I just find it so awesome when he goes, go now. The orcs are not far behind, and then as he's saying that, you just see him going. It looks a lot better in the film. But yeah, then we go out into the forest and they notice that it's just. Ugh. And then Bilbo goes, is there no way around? And then we find out there's no way around. And then Gandalf abandons them to investigate Sauron again. Yay! So, what do the dwarves get up to when they're away? They get lost in the woods, of course, where they are attacked by spiders and rescued by Orlando Bloom, otherwise known as Legolas, and this other elf who Keely falls in love with, and I don't even know how it was in the book. But who am I kidding? I'm the one that actually complains when the films are too close to the book. So this is fine, and it's fine. Yeah, I felt emotion towards them, sort of. I might be a bit prejudiced because it's Lord of the Rings / Hobbit, but yeah, I can deal with it. They're all locked up, and this is actually one of my favourite scenes. Thorin just speaks to Legolas's father, and it starts off really friendly, and Thorin's just like, yes, we're trying to reclaim our homeland, and Legolas's father's like, I too have something that belongs to me in that tower, or it's not a tower, in that mountain. So if you get it for me, I would let you go. And Thorin, it looks like he's going to agree, and he just turns around and he just erupts at him, and he's just like, I will not trust you to keep your word. You abandoned us. And then Legolas' father just face straight at him, and he just does this little, do not talk to me, you dragon fire, and all of that sort of stuff, and then he pulls away and goes, which, as I've already explained, I absolutely love the way he does that for some reason. That's something I just find really funny about how I treat some films. It's just, I forget about half the scenes, it's just some of the actors' actions. It's just so hard. Yeah, but I absolutely loved it. It is a really good scene. And yeah. And so anyway, Thorin gets shoved back into his cell with Balin. And Balin's like, so did you strike a deal with him? And then, well, Thorin's basically swears at him in some sort of dwarven language. So yeah, I think you could probably guess what happened if you hadn't seen that previous scene. But somehow Thorin knows that Bilbo is in the building because he trusts him now, and he doesn't think he's abandoned him this time. So Bilbo goes and he rescues him, and we get the barrel scene, which is for some reason advertised in Our Unexpected Journey. So you can clearly tell that this part was actually meant to be in An Unexpected Journey. So this must have been when it was 2 films. They just hadn't sorted out the poster. I've actually got a theme on my PS3. Yeah, still on a PS3. Don't question me. But it's just basically, it says An Unexpected Journey, and you see them all in the barrels and stuff. So you can clearly, so it's a way of figuring out where this film was meant to end. And when you go and see the Battle of the Five Armies, you can really tell where it was meant to end. And obviously the first and the third film were to be shorter. And I don't know about the third film, because the third film actually seems about right. So we get that little sequence, and yeah, the orcs also attack, and Keely gets hurt. Yay. And yeah, the dwarf just falls back into the barrels, and we get this awesome scene which doesn't look that great. It's CGI is a bit off at a lot of points in it. It's a fun scene, but if you're willing to just turn yourself off from the CGI and stuff, and the camera, because the camera, I don't know what, I think they wore GoPros, and they genuinely went they fired the actors into water, or stuntmen into water, off water, well maybe not massive waterfalls, but small waterfalls and stuff like that, because the quality just drops massively. And then it just gets even worse, because then we've got this incredible scene in which I think Dwalin picks up an axe. He gets thrown an axe and he catches it and he spins around, and the CGI just looks horrible. You could clearly, it was the actor Dwalin, but the CGI behind him or around him looks really horrible, and it just and it gets better though, but it does get really cringeworthy at points. But it's fine, I think. It's not really, but I can deal with it as Hobbit, okay? I wouldn't deal with it in our film. So then we continue on, and, well, they have a little break, and they find Bard, who smuggles them into Lake Town. We find out Lake Town's got troubles. Stephen Fry's in charge. yeah, you can pretty much understand what's wrong with the town now. It's actually Alfred that is manipulating him, and manipulating Stephen Fry and turning him against everyone. You can actually see that his character, Stephen Fry's character, is more caring than what he is, but he's put in with so much lies and he's deceived so much by Alfred that he doesn't have a lot of trust. And, well, you then start to see problems with Bard and Alfred, because Alfred does not like Bard. But Bard outsmarts Alfred really easily. I mean, seriously. Bard smuggles in dwarfs, and they go over and it turns out that he's actually lied about the weapons, because the weapons aren't proper, they're all, yeah, so they go and find weapons, they go and break into the armory, when Bard realises they're dwarfs. And so he goes and explores and finds out that Thorin is actually going to reclaim the mountain, and he's the ancestor of one of the guys who tried to stop the dragon but failed. So Thorin's now been captured with Bard's like, you bring upon us nothing but dragon fire and ruin. And then you get the awesome scene in which he's just like, you have no right to enter that mountain. And then Thorin turns around and goes, I have the only right. So yeah, and they all get separated. And Keeley obviously is too ill to go to the mountain, so he's all injured and he's poisoned, and yeah, they have to stay in. And one of the dwarfs sleeps in and everything. Feely stays with him as well. Feely and the other dwarfs, they go to get help from Bard. So they're trying to stop him. All the while in the mountain, we have Bilbo and that, and Bilbo goes in and get the epic scene where she speaks to Smaug, which is fantastic through the entire film. It's like the last hour, and it's just, oh my god. Because Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing. The dragon just looks fantastic. And we've got like the whole don't be shy. And then I'm almost tempted to let you take it. Watch him corrupt him. Yeah. Sorry, I like impersonating Smaug, but it's not healthy. I think this was the only excuse for this video. This is just an excuse for me to impersonate Smaug a lot more. Gandalf. We got the scene in which Gandalf goes to Durdle Door, and in Durdle Door he attempts to find the White Orc, and then the White Orc gets the drop on him and attacks him, and yeah. Well, Gandalf's gone. So Gandalf's now in a cage. Well, no. Gandalf is not before Gandalf finds out that Sauron is behind him, which everybody's just like, finally we find out. And he gets put in a cage. So yeah, and we find out there's a massive army heading towards Erebor. And then we got this whole scene in which Bilbo comes back to Thorin. He tries to escape, but Thorin's just like, no. Hang on, did you get the Arkenstone? Which Bilbo was in for, and Bilbo was, no, I didn't find it. So he completely lies about actually seeing it, and then next thing, Bilbo tries to escape, and then but Thorin just puts his sword between him and the door, and he just starts to twist it, and you're just like, oh no, this is happening. He's getting corrupted again. Because we've already seen this happen with Frodo. Obviously it's not the ring though. We've already seen this in this film as well through Bilbo, which I actually haven't spoken about, when all the spiders are attacking, and we get this epic scene in which they're all attacking the spiders, and it's incredibly epic, but what happens with Bilbo? A baby spider basically touches the ring, and then Bilbo just charges it out with a sword, and just the way his sword just starts slashing it, like genuinely 50 times. Well, while you see all the other dwarves are just smacking all the other spiders and taking them out, it's like an epic battle, and you just cuts back to Bilbo as it's attacking. It's horrible. When he realises what he's done, you just see he just looks at it and just goes, except it's a bit more dramatic. I don't know what that was, but yeah, you get the point. It's more like, Just in time though, the dwarves come. No, the dwarves don't come. No, Smaug appears, and then the rest of the dwarves come through. I wonder what would this would have been a much different ending if the dwarves had actually seen Thorin put the sword against Bilbo. But then we got this epic fight with Smaug, and it's pretty awesome. I will not lie. Smaug's just awesome. He flips it, and Thorin's constantly tempting Smaug and irritating him, and Smaug's just erupting with fire, literally. And yeah, they fail basically, and they attack him with gold, and yeah, I don't get what the point in the gold was, but who cares? It was gold. It was an awesome little bit, and we get to see Golden Smaug, but Smaug then goes to Lake Town to destroy it with a little bit of I am fire, I am death. And yeah, whoosh. I've already imitated that twice. Just look earlier on the channel. I think it's in my review of the year in which I do a proper like flap of the wings. It's yeah, it was pretty forced and it's a bit embarrassing. This is perhaps one of my favourites. It's really close. This one and the Battle of the Five Armies are really close for 5th place. It would be 4th place. Is like the best. Well, 2nd place. I'm sorry, 1st place. They're tied for 1st place is the best in the Hobbit trilogy. Tied for 4th place, obviously, and all the films. And yeah, this film's really good. Start to finish, everything is like it's a really good pace until it reaches Smaug, in which it just goes boom. It just goes 100 miles an hour. You're just so into it at this point because it's such an amazing part. So as always, remember to like and subscribe. And I feel like asking you a question. What is your opinion on Smaug? Would you have liked to see more of him, or yeah? Did you just think what we were given was fine? I think we should have maybe seen more because I just like Smaug. So yeah.